Hello, late night friends. Today I'm going to tell you a story that deeply intrigued me. An experience I had on a trip to the Vatican. When we think of that place, images of faith, spirituality, and devotion immediately come to mind. But behind all the beauty and grandeur of the golden domes, there's a dark side. A side few know. And one that I'll never forget. On that trip, I discovered that the Vatican holds dark secrets. Secrets that remain alive to this day. The true dark history of the Vatican. I've always thought of the Vatican as the Sacred Heart of faith, but when I was there, I realized there's something much older, more obscure, hidden beneath every stone of that place. I entered through St. Peter's Square like any visitor. The crowds looked up, admiring the basilica's dome. But all I could feel was a heaviness. A strange silence behind the hubbub of tourists. It was as if the ancient walls held trapped, muffled voices, trying to escape. At night, when the city slept, I gained access to corridors few know about. A Vatican employee led me to an underground passage. He didn't say much, just motioned for me to follow. The air down there was cold, damp, and charged with something I can't explain. We arrived before a rusted iron door. Engraved on it was an ancient symbol, not Christian, but something reminiscent of forgotten cults, forbidden rituals. When the door opened, I saw an immense library, lit by a few yellowish lamps. But it wasn't just books, there were boxes of bones, scrolls and dead languages, artifacts that belonged to no known faith. One manuscript in particular caught my eye. The leather of the cover seemed human. And inside, accounts detailed rituals performed by popes from centuries past, where sacrifices were made to ensure the power of the church. There were even names crossed out, of people who vanished from history without a trace. As I read, I felt something watching me. It wasn't my imagination. The air changed, grew denser. In the shadows between the shelves, I saw tall, motionless silhouettes, as if waiting for me to speak the words of the book. The clerk who had led me there pulled me abruptly and whispered only one sentence, "They are still here." I don't know if he was talking about the ancient popes, or about the things I saw in the shadows. I was hurriedly escorted away, but before I left, I heard heavy footsteps echoing behind me, and they belonged to no one alive. I went to sleep in a hotel near the cathedral. At that hotel, I met Mare, a humble person, but very wary of that place. Mare calmed me down but told me to be careful who I talk to and who I hang out with. She decided to tell me her story. I should never have gone beyond the permitted area. It all started out of curiosity, silent corridors, ancient doors that seemed to call to me. They say the Vatican holds secrets never revealed, and that night, I discovered that some secrets still breathe. I followed a narrow staircase that descended far beyond what any visitor could imagine. The air became heavy, smelling of incense mixed with rusted iron. When I reached the end, there was a hall lit only by torches. The floor was covered in symbols drawn with something dark and thick. It was then that I felt cold hands gripping my arms. I don't know where they came from. Hooded figures surrounded me silently, leading me to the center of the circle. With each step, I heard murmurs in a language I didn't recognize, a deep, low chant, as if the walls were responding. They laid me down on smooth, icy stone. I couldn't move, as if an invisible weight held me captive. Above me, a larger figure raised an object that looked like a blade, but engraved with symbols that burned in the firelight. It was at that moment that something happened. The torches flickered, and a sound echoed through the corridors, like thunder from within the earth. The figures became distracted, turning their covered faces to the darkness. I seized that moment. I don't know where I found the strength, but I managed to free myself, pushing one of the torches against the symbols on the floor. The fire spread quickly, shattering the circle. The murmurs turned into shrill, almost inhuman screams. I didn't look back. I ran through endless corridors, guided only by instinct. Behind me, I could still hear footsteps, not hurried, but steady, as if someone, or something, was following me. When I finally found the stairs that brought me back to the surface, I realized the Vatican was completely silent. No guards, no visitors. Only the distant sound of bells that shouldn't have been ringing at that hour. I managed to get out, but I was never the same. Ever since that night, I've had marks on my wrists, as if invisible hands were still holding me. And sometimes, in the middle of the night, I hear that same deep chant echoing inside my room. The ritual may not be over, maybe they still want me back. So when you think about going to the Vatican, be careful. The Vatican guards its faith in the light of day, but in the shadows, it guards something that should never be seen. I'll see you on the next trip. Follow our channel, because there are secrets that haven't yet been revealed, and you won't want to miss what comes next.